Today I'd like to talk to you about 5 ways that you can hack your credit score in only 5 days. There's a lot of misconceptions about credit, that it takes a long time, or that it's impossibly hard, or that you just can't make it against the system. But whether you're trying to refinance your home or whether you're trying to buy a new one for the very first time, we've helped thousands of people to become homeowners, and this isn't something that has to be insurmountable. So let's get started and go over these 5 hacks. Hack number 1. The biggest component in your credit score is payment history. It makes up 35% of your score. How do you get good payment history in just 5 days, right? Did you know that you can report your rent? This is one of the biggest things we do to help our customers become creditworthy. It doesn't take a lot of time, it doesn't take a lot of paperwork or anything like that. But you can add up to 2 years of payment history into your credit report in just a short amount of time. That's a big deal. You've already done all the work. You've already made all the payments. And your creditors want to see that you have the ability to pay over time. And so by reporting your rent, if you already have a mortgage, you can add things like rental units, you can add utility bills and things like that. But if you're a first-time home buyer, reporting your rent is the single biggest bang for your buck. And there's places you can go online that can give you help with it. But this is our secret weapon to really add some payment history to your credit report. Hack number 2. The second largest component of your credit score is what we call utilization rate. It's really easy to understand. Let's say you have a $1,000 limit on your credit card and you owe $400. That would be a 40% utilization rate. And this makes up 30% of your credit score. So it's a really big deal. Now, how do you improve your utilization rate on your credit card, or if you have several of them on several credit cards, in only 5 days? Well, one thing you could do if you have a pile of cash sitting around, pay down your credit cards. It makes a big difference. But we recommend that you increase your available credit. This is really simple to do, and it's something that not a lot of people even think about. You can give your credit card company a call, and they're not really looking at your FICO score at this point. They're looking at the experience that they've had with you in their computer systems, your payment history. Maybe you got a new job. Maybe you're making a little bit of extra money at that new job. Or maybe you got a raise at your old job. You can have a conversation with them and simply ask them to increase your available credit, increase your credit limit. If you take that credit card from a $1,000 limit to a $2,000 limit, that same $400 is now only a 20% utilization rate. That's going to give you a 30 to 40 point boost on your credit score, and it happens almost overnight. It's a great tool to hack your credit. The third largest component of your credit score is length of history. Your creditors want to see that you've had accounts that have been open for a long time, not just a year. We're talking decades, okay? Now, how are you going to get a credit account that has a decade of history in only 5 days? Easy. Become an authorized user. This is highly underestimated and it's very powerful. It doesn't take a lot of time. This is where you find someone that you know, someone close to you, someone that's going to trust you, someone that you have a relationship with, that has a credit card that has been open for a long time. The longer the better. We want 5, 10, even 15 years. You're looking for a card, hopefully it has a high limit. If you can get a $5,000, $10,000 limit on the card, that helps because that's gonna help you with your utilization rate, right? But we want a low balance. So we don't want a card that's gonna have a lot of money spent on it. The best place to go for this, grandma and grandpa. They've got a credit card that's been open for 20 years. They're very careful. They're not borrowing a lot of money on it, but they have a really good payment history. You can go to them, ask them to become an authorized user on their account. They don't even have to give you a card. They just add you as an authorized user. That will start reporting on your credit report. We can see boosts in your credit score of up to 50 points in just a couple days of work. Hack number 4. The fourth largest component of your credit score is types of credit or credit mix. This is really important to pay attention to. Different kinds of credit impact your credit score in more powerful or less powerful ways. The ranking of this, the simplest version, is if you get a department store card or you get a card at one of your favorite clothing stores, that's the lowest rank. The second after that is a revolving account, like a credit card. After that, we've got an installment loan, like a car loan. And then the very highest level is mortgage. And so depending on the type of credit that you have, that's going to impact your credit score in different ways. But the other thing that's important to know is that lenders want to see multiple types of credit on your credit report. They don't want to see just one. So how do you add multiple types of credit and create a profile that's going to be attractive to lenders? Find a good credit builder. There's a lot of different products out there. You can look on the internet. This is where you really want to do your homework, or you want someone to guide you through the process. But there are credit products that are available in each of these different types that show up in those categories that can really help you along without getting you into a hole. So there's credit cards that add a revolving account that don't have high interest rates that are specifically meant to build your credit. Or there's installment accounts like Credit Strong and other products like that can really boost your credit by adding the installment account, but they're not costing you a lot of money. You're not having to go out and buy a car and commit to something like that. So choose a good credit builder and diversify the different types of account on your credit report. Hack number 5. The fifth component of your credit score is new lines of credit. It makes up 10% of your credit score. This is a conversation that we have a lot with our people. And what we recommend is to do nothing. It's really important to understand with your credit that if you're going out and just randomly, impulsively signing up for credit accounts, having your credit report pulled, that's gonna hurt your credit. New lines of credit make your credit score temporarily go down. When people inquire about your credit report, that makes your credit score temporarily go down. So when you're out and about, you're at that department store, buying that pair of jeans, and they ask you, hey, do you want us to sign you up for this revolving account? The answer should be no. You only really need 4 solid accounts diversified with maybe a mortgage, an installment loan, and 2 really good credit cards, and you have a chance for an 800 credit score if you've got good payment history and good utilization rate. So you don't need to load up just all of these other department store cards and things like that to build your credit score. Don't be impulsive with these decisions. In that moment, when someone asks you, do you want us to pull your credit report? Do you want to apply for this? Do nothing. My name is Marian Timpson. My company is Credit Innovation Group. I really want to encourage you to be active about your credit profile. This is something that you can do, and it makes such a big difference in your life. We've talked about 5 things that might be really helpful to you, but there's a lot more that you can do. And if you've thought about anything, or if you have any questions as we've talked today, my information is below. Send me an email. I will personally make sure that your questions get answered.